tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey out there, all you Legend of Korra fans out there. What's going on? This is Liz Rishmawy coming back from Japan. So happy to be here. Welcome to the show. Joining me today on episode 6, Battle of Zaofu, is my buddy, Mr. Tauri Miller.
Hey, hey.
And unfortunately, Mr. John Quick could not be with us today. Work. We're busy people here. I'm just gonna say it's a joke. It's like I'm never here when he's here and vice versa. We hate each other.
They're actually the same person. It's like a Ranma situation.
It is actually. It's like a Superman Clark Kent thing. Anyway, guys, really excited to be here recapping today. Again, episode 6 of book 4, Battle of Zaofu. First, I just want to take it. What was your opinion of this episode, Tauri?
I thought it was really interesting because it went in a completely different direction than I thought it would. Being the Battle of Zaofu, I thought it was going to be like these two armies, but like at the same time, it would have been a slaughter if the whole army would have gone in.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I dig the way that it progressed.
Okay.
And I also loved the whole Varric Bolin storyline. It just made me so happy.
Yeah, that was, I think, the Varric and Bolin thing. Honestly, if I'm going to be honest here, people, because this is what we're here for. We're here to recap the episodes. We are fans talking to fans about this episode that we're all fans about, or series rather. And I'm going to be completely honest. I wasn't too personally happy with it.
Right.
I've been gone for a couple weeks now. I've been catching up in my spare time. And I thought, maybe if the title of the episode wasn't so misleading, Tauri and I just had this whole thing where we're like, maybe it was Battle for Zaofu, not really Battle of Zaofu. It wasn't really too much battling going on.
Yeah.
But anywho, starting off the episode, we do have Sue and her sons trying to sneak into Kuvira's camp, which goes totally against this peace agreement they had, was it not? In the last episode, they were...
I mean, Kuvira had basically put down her... She had negotiated with Korra to...
Wait till dawn.
Wait till dawn. But even if they had waited till dawn, it was still more of a... it was a pleasantry as opposed to an actual offer.
Yeah.
Like, Kuvira was dead
It's not like she was really going to rationalize or try to negotiate any terms aside from what she wanted.
Yeah, no. The terms would have been surrender to me or die.
Yeah, or at least go away to a camp or something.
Right. So, I mean, it was bound to fail anyway, so it was better that Suyin took matters into her own hands.
Yeah.
If she would have won, if she would have succeeded in her attempt, then she stated right before that basically all the soldiers were there basically by force. So
most of them anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, okay, so we have Sue and her sons, 2 of them, which their names, it was the twins, right?
Yeah, Wynn and Wei.
Yeah, Wynn and Wei. Love that. They try to sneak into Kuvira's camp. We open up where they're taking out one of the guards. One of her sons, I don't know if it was Wynn or Wei, but, trying to be like, is this really a good idea? How are we supposed to take them on? Which is like what you just said when Sue brings up the point that most of these soldiers are just, in order to make sure they didn't go to those internment camps or whatever it was, they joined the forces. So as soon as we take over, they should follow pursuit, it should fall down. It won't be a battle for blood. Not all of them are loyal to her. Mm-hmm. And so we have that, and it's kind of quick. I mean, this doesn't really take up much of the episode where... she uses the really cool, seeing through the earth senses that are, Toph gave her or taught her, and sees that there is a female sleeping in this bed, and they try to sneak in and, take her by force. And right away we see it's Julie. and the whole thing was a trap. And, you know, obviously Kuvira knew it was going to happen. She already had been waiting for it, and she takes Sue and Wynn and Wei hostage, and then we basically move on from that scene. So, boom, you failed. It wasn't even like, and I was disappointed because, you know, I understand that, yes, she's smart. It makes sense that it was probably a trap, but I was hoping for just a little more, like, depth into it. You know, like, we've gotten so many scenes in the other seasons, you know, where, you know, the kids, when I say the kids, like Korra and the gang are trying to, like, sneak around and get through stuff, and I feel like it's more in depth, so to speak, you know? I mean, what do you think? Do you think it should have gone on a little longer, maybe?
I think that, I think it went as well as it could have.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Kuvira is smart. She's not going to have her own sleeping quarters out in the open where someone could get her so easily.
Yeah, and there's no guards around, which was weird.
Yeah. I mean, I was surprised, or I was wondering how she knew that they were coming.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they just set up from the get-go that it was going to happen sometime at night, so that she just automatically put Julie in her bed, you know, waiting as they just kind of stood off on the side somewhere.
Right.
I mean, you know. But anyway, so is this the part where we kind of... the best part, we kind of jump into, because we don't want to jump around too much because we want to stay on topic for the things that did happen in this episode. So it might be going a little out of order, but bear with us. We're gonna just jump to the train.
Yeah, let's just talk about Bolin and
because they're the best
Varric for a while.
Yeah, they're the best part of this.
Yeah.
I love how brokenhearted and sad Varric is. Like, I think he's in love with Jolie, and he doesn't really know what it is that he's feeling for her.
She's like his only friend.
Yeah.
And the only person who actually gets him.
And understands when he says, get the thing, do the thing.
Right.
Do you think, kind of sidetracking for a little bit, do you really honestly believe that Julie just completely, like, abandoned him, or do you think that she's probably still loyal to him?
I mean,
this is going into predictions a little bit, but
I mean, I guess it's talking about her in general, and that, like, because she's a presence throughout this whole episode, and you see her agreeing in various degrees to whatever Kuvira's doing.
Exactly.
And I feel like when it first happened, I thought there was room for her to just be like doing a play.
Yeah.
But I definitely understand her perspective of, like,
he's been bossing her around.
Yeah, he's treated her like crap this whole time.
Exactly.
I mean, and now her bacon was about to be fried. So
I love that. I'm going to use them more often.
You should.
Although I would actually, I don't know why that would be bad. I would like for someone to fry my bacon. I mean, maybe I'm too busy to actually fry my own bacon. Maybe that would be nice. If you're going to eat my own fried bacon, then I think I'd be more upset.
Right. Well, getting literal.
Just saying.
Yeah. No, I get you. I get you.
It's very important, you know, like bending of the elements and bacon. It's very important.
Yeah,
it's all on topic.
So yeah, I feel like there's a chance that she is just kind of trying to save her own skin.
Or there is a chance that she's biding her time, let him sweat it out, see how much he needs and relies on her and misses her, and then she bites back.
Right.
Or fights back. Whichever.
I would hope that, like, I mean, just since all the characters are developing so much, I would hope that it's not even, it's completely separate from Varric. Like, I'm hoping that she at some point kind of is that, like, last string to take Kuvira down.
Yeah.
You know, because she's now in the inner circle.
Yeah.
So she has every ability once she's able to kind of help in taking Kuvira down.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to go, okay, so going back to Varric and Bolin now. So basically what we have here is Varric is locked up and, you know, they still want him, what's his name, Batar or Junior, but, you know, this is Kuvira's fiance now and the backstabbing brother of all of Sue's kids and everything like that. So he basically is trying to get Varric to start up working again on that energy vine project thing they were working on, which apparently, as was explained a little later in this, is that, what was it? It was supposed to be a source of energy?
It was supposed to be like infinite energy, so they could pop one of these batteries in and it would never
Which
go
again,
out.
I think I made reference last time I was on the show, but totally reminds me of like that thing that Iron Man made in like the second or the third, or maybe it was in the Avengers movie.
Right.
Just the battery thing. So that's what it reminds me of. But yeah, so obviously that backfired before, and Varric, again, backtracking into the couple of the episodes that I missed with you guys, you know, is kind of becoming a better character and person and realizing, hey, I don't know what's gotten over me either, but yeah, I shouldn't do this. So he, basically is being locked up because he didn't want to work on a weapon, because if it falls in the wrong hands, there you go.
Yeah.
And so they want him to work on it, and at first Batar is like, hey, this guard's going to be, but Bolin, you're going to the camps. You need to be like rewired and stuff and show your dedication and everything again. And then that's when, I don't know if it's on purpose, I guess Varric wants Bolin to be his assistant.
Yeah, he's basically like conning Batar into having Bolin by his side so that he can orchestrate his whole plan.
Exactly. Or whichever part of the plan was his and the other wasn't, but and then he starts doing the whole thing, well, I guess if your soldier doesn't mind missing his hands. And then, of course, Bolin, being as intelligent of a person he is, but just a little slow for the uptake, wait, I need my hands. Wait, let's think about this. And then he becomes his assistant. Right. So we get this whole scene where, of course, Batar doesn't trust them completely, wants to keep an eye out on every little thing that he's doing.
Yeah.
Tweak here, tweak there. And then we come to find out that he makes a bomb.
Well, this was like, but I want to, and Varric has had a lot of great moments throughout the series, but I feel like this particular episode's arc with him was his best.
Yes.
Just him kind of.
It's been building to this over the last couple episodes too.
But him like weaseling his way, kind of like, hiding all his tinkering, assuring Bolin that he has a plan, and finally just that reveal that he's going to blow this whole thing up was great.
Yeah, and not only does he have a timer, but he also has a remote. There's a backup, but then he has a timer, but if you put him away, it doesn't matter. He followed every single part that he could think of, so nobody could screw him over, basically.
Yeah.
And then we have, again, the whole... I love the little bits, and I wish I wrote them down. Fans out there on Twitter and YouTube, whatever you can, if you remember the exact lines, that would be great. I was in a bit of a rush when I was trying to watch it before I got here today, but there was a line that he said, because he is very, again, heartbroken over Jolie. He's like, that guy was totally Varric, and you got Jolie.
Yeah, it was. He was like, when they talk about me in the history books, they'll say that guy totally Varric'd himself because he was totally Julied.
Yes, I'm gonna use that, and no one's gonna understand what I'm saying outside of this fandom.
Twitter or Tumblr will know.
Oh, Tumblr will know. Tumblr always knows.
Yes.
But yeah, so I think that was really enjoyable. And like you said, like we've been getting, he's always been a great character, and in a way he's almost like a comedic relief, slightly a different twist than what Bolin is. Because Bolin wasn't so much of it in this episode. It was really Varric being the star of it.
Yeah.
So we get it where he threatens. Of course, Batar doesn't believe, but he has no choice. To which, yes, this bomb does go off, and Bolin is the one who figures out how they're going to escape under the tracks.
Right.
And the last moment being, I want you to know I hate you.
Yeah.
Which is the best final words that they say of the episode as they fall out. And then obviously to all of Kovira's army and Batar and everybody who's left on the train that they disconnected the carts to, it looks like they did not survive.
Right.
Which was great, because I can't wait to see when they just kind of pop up out of nowhere again.
Yeah. Though, like, last episode of this after show, me and John were talking about how we wanted to see the... not concentration camps, the
internment, whatever they are,
re-education camps.
Yeah, re-education, that's it.
So I was really looking forward to seeing that with Bolin going there, but now they're on the lam, and we'll never ever see those ever.
Well, I mean, at the same time, you never know, because there could be one part of the season that'll they'll bust through and let everybody go. But I mean, how interesting could those really be? I mean, we've seen so many, all throughout the first series with Last Airbender, where the thing that goes around, and the thing in the Earth Kingdom.
Are you talking about the moon? Wait, what are you talking about?
The secret clan in the Earth Kingdom.
Oh, the Dai Li.
Thank you, Dai Li. I was like, it's 2 words. They're just they're one syllable each.
I like that you were circling
because
your head.
It's a candle on a rock that floats around. Anybody who's watching on YouTube sees what I'm doing right now.
Oh, man. Anyways, yeah, I mean...
It'd be the same thing, basically.
Right. But, I mean, those weren't necessarily re-education camps. Those were prisons.
Brainwashing.
Like straight prisons.
Yeah,
but
straight up.
I feel like, because I just want to know exactly the extent of everyone's suffering, which sounds terrible, but...
No, you're just really into the story. This is what's so great about this series is that we have a love. We love this series because we love the character development. We love the plots. We love the storyline. We love the world of Avatar, and we get close. It becomes a thing to us. Like, is she going to save the world? Is the Earth Kingdom actually better off with Kuvira's ruling or not? Like, these are things we want to know.
Yeah.
And along with that, I'm to this day. I mean, this is supposed to be the last series, right? The last. Yeah. So I'm wondering if we're ever going to get backstories into what happened to, all the other characters from the old series. Like,
right.
Like I want to know what happens. Apparently there's comic books and stuff in between.
Yeah.
I haven't read them. I don't know what says what. You can also tweet me and YouTube me and let me know where the heck I can find those.
Comic book stores.
Shut up. Obviously.
The internet.
The internet.
But, I mean, yeah, and they kind of talk about a sorted, like, Aang's gang, because we know that Sokka's dead. Katara is up in the north there, or southern water tribe. Yeah, and then Toph, we just got reunited with her.
But did Sokka's chick die too? I mean, what was her name?
Probably.
No, what was her name? Miki.
Doesn't matter.
Kyoshi warrior lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're horrible, guys. I'm sorry about this. It's been so long since we saw the old series.
Right.
But real quick, it is a little bit halfway through. This is a half-hour episode. We're trying to stretch out. We're having fun. It's just two of us here, so we get to dive in a little back-and-forth discussion. And I do want to just make a quick break here to tell you guys, thank you so much for watching with us and listening to us. We're so appreciative for you guys. Please go to iTunes. You guys have no idea how hard the people behind the AFTERBUZZ Studios works here. They deliver about 80 to 90 hours of content, all free. You can find it all on iTunes. You can find it on YouTube, of course. If you want to see the video feeds, you go to the actual website at AFTERBUZZTV.com at the time we start to air to watch it live.
Yep.
They do a lot of work here, and it's all thanks to the fans like you who give your feedback. Please go to iTunes on the Legend of Korra. Give us 5 stars, rate and review, comment on the YouTube. We're going to give our shout-outs to how you can contact us after the shows, and we love to hear from you. So thank you so much. Back to the show. Basically. So, yeah, like we were saying, so what were we saying?
So now we're jumping back into Zaofu because we've got Korra talking to Baatar Sr., Opal.
Can we just go on about how angry Opal is and how... Now, it's been 3 years since she first started training as an airbender, and her anger and rage and dedication, like, it's very hard. We have to remember that these people were not born and raised as air nomads, so it's very interesting to see how she took an oath that, I mean, they're basically like real live monks. Monks do not have any, or not supposed to have any sort of worldly attachments, and how her responsibility to be kind of peacekeeper and neutral is supposed to always come first, but Opal is totally willing to throw that out the window. She is mad.
Yeah.
And I found it very interesting. I think at one point we will see her kind of flip out and take her, shots in the end if we can.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely Su Yin's daughter.
Definitely.
I mean, and all the Beifongs have...
Toph's granddaughter, for sure.
Yeah, they have an attitude, and she's not wrong. Like, she's seen all of the disaster that Kuvira has left behind.
Yeah.
And now her mom is essentially a prisoner of Kuvira.
Yeah, and this is a very it's a very communist, I guess, kind of run, the way the Earth Kingdom is now, with all the getting taken over and...
fascist,
maybe
I think.
Fascist,
yeah.
I can't think. What are the words that end with ist?
Yeah.
But
she's becoming a tyrant.
Tyrant, exactly. Yeah. And, this is where...
Tyrannical.
Oh, that's a good word.
Yeah.
Like a tyrannical Saurus Rex.
That was the word that was in my mind. Anyways,
there you go.
Stop, get out of my head.
Never. Anyway, it's fun in here. It's roomy.
Sad.
So basically we have it where we're going a little backtracking now, focusing on this main part where we have Korra. She says she's going to go talk to Kuvira. I mean, she's an educated woman. She's very smart. There has to be some way. She wants to keep the peace. And I think all of us knew in the back of our minds, and Korra knows, that she probably isn't up to par with being 100% back yet. We got the rest of the medal out, but we haven't really seen her fight or anything since they got the medal out, and we thought everything was okay again. But sure enough, so she goes and she tells the other guys, she tells Milo, she tells Iki, you know, like, look, Janora's going to come. I think Opal stayed behind too, because she kind of wanted Opal to kind of stay out of it, or did Opal come?
Opal and Janora were hanging out, and then she left the kids with Batar just to like make sure that they're not in danger.
Batar Senior,
yes,
to make sure you guys, if anything happens, you guys get out. You know, you did your job, you found Korra, now at ease.
Yeah.
So, you know, they go and they talk, and of course, you know, Kuvira's like, hey, she broke her side of the peace treaty. I was being kind enough to give her to Dawn and talk it out with her, but, you know, she tried to attack us, and now we have her in captivity, and, you know, now, like, you better try your best to get every single person to all the, what was it, the administrators, all the other higher-ups to basically agree to give me the city, or we're going to have a problem here.
Yeah.
And so after some egging on by Opal, saying just go into Avatar state and everything else, Korra starts to fight.
Yeah.
And as we see, it's kind of like a womp womp womp.
Well, yeah, she gets her tail handed to her.
Yeah, she gets her butt handed to her, you guys.
I mean, and I respected her that she tried to go with at least a little bit of a diplomatic.
I did too.
Yeah.
I mean, she did try, but again, like we discussed earlier, the reason why Sue went in is because, again, it wasn't like there were real negotiations that were going to be had. It was just, you know, there was definitely going to be some sort of struggle there. So I guess in order just to at least release them, because I think she was never planning on just handing Sue and them back. She was going to send them to the re-education camps, which they didn't want.
Yeah.
Korra gets taunted, and, well, not taunted, but she goes into battle, and this is where I'm disappointed. Okay, so, and fans, please, like I said, this episode, I really wish that I had, you know, a little bit more back and forth with you guys. I don't know, maybe for the season finale we can do some live tweets in here. But I really want to know your thoughts, because my whole thing is, this is, granted, we've only seen 2 avatars, but this is the only avatar that we've seen that, regardless of everything she's gone through, like, she's major suffering from PTSD here.
Right.
Okay, this is what it is. I get that. That's a serious thing, but I'm kind of annoyed because in this scenario, this is the one villain that isn't something that's really super scary, all powerful. It's not somebody who can take away your ability to bend. It's not a freaking spirit. It's not of darkness. It's not a super ultra powerful, you know, guy who gets, you know, amazing airbending skills and basically he was the whole set off for the PTSD.
Right.
And I just kind of, I get that it's cool. This series was made for an older audience, and I guess we can kind of relate with internal struggles and stuff, but I'm just frustrated. I wish there was a part of it where maybe it looked like she could have been winning slightly, and then it started kicking in. The entire time she was just getting it handed to her.
Right. Well,
and it was just so frustrating. Like, this isn't a battle. This is like a joke.
Well, yeah, it was a one-sided battle.
Yeah, and she's an amazing, you know, Kuvira is an amazing bender.
Yes.
But again, that's all it is. She is a basic bender. Like, Korra could basically take on Sue. Sue basically taught Kuvira, and she's an excellent earth and metal bender.
Well, though, Kuvira stood to surpass Su Yin at any moment.
That's true.
And you also have to, like, and you can't downplay the strength of a master bender. Like, she is.
Yeah, I get it.
You could say that she is at the level that.
I mean, all the people in the Red Lotus were, you know, also just only that one element, but masters at what they did. So, yes. I mean, yeah, same argument.
Yeah, but. And I. From a story standpoint, I mean, she has to hit rock bottom before she makes her way back up to the top.
But she keeps hitting it over and over and over again. Like I said,
just like human beings, it's like to me, this was such a human moment of hers, because it's like she's like, all right, well, I tried the diplomatic approach, and old Korra would have just come out, you know, guns a blazing,
or fire blazing, water a splashing. Rocks a throwing.
And she gave it a chance, and she's definitely not ready to be fighting again. As like, and we were talking before the show, and that like she had recently just gotten beaten by a regular airbender, or not airbender, but an earthbender.
Yes,
so, I mean,
in the tournaments.
Yes.
But that was 3 months ago. So like I said, if we try to remember the time lapse, I just think sometimes maybe, you know, because she was training with Toph. You know, I would like to think that maybe there was a little training afterwards, but I don't think so.
No, it was just like, you're better now. Get out of my swamp.
I have to soak myself in mud.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I would like to hear some of your thoughts out there. Like I said, you can always go ahead and talk to us and tweet us. We will give our tweets in a few minutes here.
Yeah.
Our tweets, our Twitter handles. But yeah, like I guess you know. So at that point, it's basically a lost cause here. So we have the Airbenders. They call Milo and Iki to help because at this point the army is swarming in to take them, and they're doing a huge whirlwind just to kind of hold them off. You know, Janora calls psychically for help from Milo and Iki. They go, they grab, you know, the bison, and they just basically escape with Korra.
Yeah.
Did Opal go too? I think Opal, they all went.
Opal was there.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, but she went, they all left. So it was just leaving Sue and Wynn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She went away because there was that touching moment where she was reaching for her mom, and her mom was like, go.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah. So we have that really touching moment where we're, you know, our heroes leave, and we're left with, you know, basically Kuvira demanding the city of Zaofu to, you know, bow to her, and otherwise you're going to be sent away to these camps. And the only people who don't bow and surrender, of course, are Sue's family.
Yeah.
And with Batar basically telling Junior how disappointed he is in him.
Yeah.
And was Huan's line. Huan is the one, the artistic, again, touching base on that whole thing with Milo and Iki, because that was a great part too, about how Iki has this very childlike painting, and it's beautiful, and it scares me, and this, and Milo is so talented, as we found out from another episode, and he's just like, I'm not seeing your soul.
Yeah, I can see your outside.
Yeah, so when they're pulling him away, he's just like, you're crushing my what was it? My creativity, or something. So again, this was an episode that I think was very much in need for those little funny quirks and stuff.
Right.
But you know, again, so we leave it at that. Zaofu has fallen, and I guess it's time to go into predictions.
Yeah.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, Tauri. So what are you thinking we're going to see in the next episode?
I
want to see.
Well, I want to see. I guess Korra kind of coming to terms with her utter defeat, like because when she was fighting Kuvira, she saw herself on Kuvira's face. So, and I was like, yeah, it's like you're fighting yourself, because in another timeline, in another situation, it would have been Korra standing in front of an army trying to unite other people, and so this whole arc is about her fighting her former self or whatever.
Or it could just be like how Toph brought up, I don't know which episode it was, but she said, you notice though in all of their villains that you have faced that they all have means, like you can actually take a little bit from what you learn from them. Like this person wants equality, this person wants freedom of all the nations, this one, they're just basically bat blank insane, and they don't go about it the right way. But you could admire what they're aiming for, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they just took whatever their ideology was to the extreme.
Yes.
Which is the same thing that Kuvira is doing. So, I mean, yeah, I think that in the next few episodes, we're going to see that in practice, and that her kind of like figuring out how that she can apply these to the way that she approaches Kuvira. I mean, and also, I hope it's a giant, awesome training montage. Oh, yeah. Because she got to get back in shape.
Have a montage. Yes. I really want that too. I just, like I said, I just see there's no improvement. That's what annoyed me. It's okay that she lost. I think it's good that she would have lost. But I think that there was at no point did she ever have the upper hand at all, like maybe seeming to get good and then getting defeated by Kuvira? That's what annoyed me. There's been so much progress. Yes, not perfect yet, but I just wish that there was some improvement. Like, hey, show me that she was going so slow, you know?
Yeah.
So I hope that whatever she faces, what she has to get over, what she has to meet, I mean, Ghost of Appa, whatever, someone, just I want her to kind of get a little bit of her edge back. Just even a little bit. If it's a process, I'm fine with that, but just a little, improvement.
Right.
I want that to happen.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, she can't be the meathead that she once was.
Yes, and this is episode 6. As we were discussing, I was asking Tauri before, I think the season ends, it's a 13-season arc.
I believe so.
Or episode arc, rather. Wish it was 13 seasons. That'd be amazing. Might run out of ideas by then. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to seeing where this goes and her gaining her strength. But again, I just want to see a little bit more progression. I mean, there has been improvement. Obviously, there's some internal struggle there, but we will see.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to see, where's Mako and You know,
he's hanging out with Wu.
Yeah, I want to see what's going on with these people. So, yeah. Anyway, I think that wraps up for this episode.
Yeah.
Tauri Miller, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at TauriJ. That's Taurijay. You can also find me on panels here at AfterBuzz TV. For example, the Flash AfterBuzz panel and the Arrow AfterBuzz panel.
Aha, and they link with each other.
Yep.
Hey guys, I'm Liz Rishmawy. You can go ahead and find me on Twitter and Instagram at Lizzie Mawy. That's LIZZYMAWY. You can also check me out trying to sneak my way into several Doctor Who panels. I will be back at least for the Christmas special, so check out for that. Helix is coming up again, I think sometime in January. I don't know. Follow my Twitter for a couple others. And of course, with Tauri on every Sunday for the Sword Art Online panel. But basically, that about wraps it up. You can also, John Quick, we miss you. Please check him out at Now Quick. And we will see you next week. Thanks so much, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.